Hello. That was Big X's last word to his family before everything flipped upside down. His voice cracked, the air went silent, and just like that, the law came crashing down on him. BigXthaPlug wasn't just facing a small charge. He got slammed hard after being caught with marijuana and a handgun. But what really made it worse, the system tagged him as a known gang member, and that label hit harder than any bullet could. Let's break this down because this story had the whole rap game watching. BigXthaPlug, Dallas's own rising star, got arrested on August 21st, 2025, the very night he was supposed to be celebrating his biggest career moment. Imagine that.
I miss your brother's first birthday. I ain't miss yours though. Mama. I made it.
He had 2 album release parties lined up for his country rap crossover project, I Hope You're Happy. Fans were already turning up at Cash Cow nightclub in Deep Ellum, and another event was set at Wingstop. But instead of popping champagne, Big X was getting his mugshot taken at Dallas County Jail. Talk about a night gone wrong. It all went down around 8:45 p.m. when cops stopped his Dodge Ram TRX on the 7900 block of Great Trinity Forest Way. All because he didn't have a front license plate. One tiny detail flipped his whole night upside down. When officers approached, Big X kept it solid and told them straight up there was a gun under his armrest. No lies, no hiding. He kept it 100. But that honesty didn't save him. They still charged him for marijuana possession and unlawful firearm possession. Because his name was flagged in the system as a suspected gang member, the charges doubled up fast. His total bond came out to $5,000. That's $2,500 for each misdemeanor. But check this. Big X didn't let it break him. When he got released around 4 p.m. the next day, he stepped out calm, head high, and ready to face the cameras. The man was built different. That's when his lawyer, Valerie Bain, came forward and told the media, "We're gonna handle this." Straight confidence, no panic. She made it clear these weren't life-ending charges, just another hurdle in the game.
Is there anything you want your fans to know on this important day?
Just hop out the way.
I hope you're happy out there. I hope you're happy out there.
Anything you want to say with this arrest and regarding your previous one?
I hope you're happy out there.
Please do not block
Good
the
country
way.
out right now.
What do you say to the fans that didn't get to catch it last night?
We're gonna run it back. I hope you're happy out there.
Are you going to do anything tonight for your album?
Big X's legal team knew exactly what to do, and his fans stood strong behind him. But here's the wild part. This wasn't even Big X's first time running into trouble in 2025. Earlier that year, in February, he got caught up in another case in Arlington. Police pulled him over around midnight on North Collins Street because of expired registration tags. Same story, different night. The cops smelled weed, did a search, and found less than 2 ounces of marijuana plus a handgun. Boom, another arrest. They booked him, slapped a $500 bail, and he was out by February 27th. But the next day, on February 28th, he posted an emotional clip that hit fans right in the heart. Big X was seen holding his daughter at her very first birthday party, smiling, hugging her tight, like nothing could ever shake him. That moment showed the real Big X. Not the rapper, not the headlines, but a father who loves his little girl more than anything.
I miss your brother's first birthday. I ain't miss yours though. Mama. I made it. I was here. You hear me, Mama? Bird. Look at you, Daddy. Look at you, Daddy. Hey. Happy birthday. Daddy love you. Daddy love you. More than anybody love you. Yeah. You miss this in here. What you miss this in here?
Fresh out of that Arlington jail, Big X was shining like he just touched freedom for the first time. You could see the joy bursting through his smile. The man was glowing. Cameras caught him holding his baby girl tight, and fans could feel that real emotion through the screen. The Shade Room even reposted the clip with a caption that hit hard, pointing out how Big X made it out just in time to celebrate his daughter's first birthday. That moment said everything without him even needing to talk. This video hit different because Big X had already opened up about how painful it was missing moments with his kids due to all the legal mess. He once talked in interviews about missing his son's very first birthday when he was locked up, and how that memory still haunts him. So when fans saw him finally home for his daughter's big day, it felt like a full circle win. It showed everyone that Big X wasn't just trying to fix his image, he was trying to fix his life.
Is it almost really interesting having a child with autism? Because it almost seems like it's more of a complex relationship.
So they're actually the smartest kids in the world.
But then came the part that broke people's hearts and earned him even more respect. The promise he made to his son, Amar. Big X's boy was diagnosed with autism when he was just 4, and that changed everything for him as a father. In interviews, Big X talked about how Amar went from being super verbal to suddenly struggling with speech, and how that hit him harder than any case or charge ever could. Big X started learning everything he could about autism. He went to appointments, talked to specialists, read books, doing everything in his power to be the dad his son deserved. He once said, "They're actually the smartest kids in the world," and you could hear the pride in his voice. In a New York Times interview, Big X broke down talking about a promise he made to Amar. He said, "You'll never not see me a day in your life." Those words carried weight. But being on the road, dealing with shows, tours, and arrests, that promise started slipping away. The guilt ate at him every night. He said, "Me not being there, it takes a toll on me. I only started doing this for him." That was real pain coming straight from the heart. And it doesn't stop there. Big X didn't just talk, he put in the work. He teamed up with the Autism Society of America, filming a PSA where he called autism.
I look at my son in his face, I tell him, your daddy will never do no dirt again. I'd never take nothing from nobody.
A journey that's not easy, but it doesn't have to be a hard one. That message touched fans everywhere. He said his favorite thing in the world is just watching Amar be himself, because that's where he learned true love, patience, and how to appreciate the little things in life. Even with all the chaos, the streets stood behind him. When word got out about his August arrest, social media lit up. Some fans were sending love, others were calling out Texas laws, saying they're too harsh. But no matter what side they were on, one thing was clear. Big X had people talking, and more than that, he had people feeling. The internet exploded the moment news broke. Comments were flying left and right. Fans were shouting, "Free Big X," saying, "He one of the realest out here," while others used the moment to call out the system.
It's just a city, man. I was out there till I was like 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was in the Grove with my mom till like 9. That's where I seen the worst parts at, you know what I'm saying?
Posts were popping up like, "Getting locked up for weed in 2025 is exactly why people need to get out and vote," and "They love targeting rappers for guns and drugs." The conversation went way beyond music. It became a statement about justice, race, and fame all in one. But even with the chaos online, Big X's grind didn't stop. His highly anticipated album, I Hope You're Happy, still dropped right on time, August 22nd, 2025. The project featured wild collaborations with Jelly Roll, Luke Combs, Shazi, and a few other country heavyweights. The timing was crazy. Here's a man talking about hope and happiness while fighting legal battles and missing his own release parties.
My girlfriend at the time, she's like, "Oh, you finna be 18. Let's go get your license. Let's go to San Antonio and get your license." I go, boom, to get my license, and the constable come out the back room and tell me I got a warrant for aggravated robbery.
And so the cops show up outside, or she just fills you in and tells you?
Nah, as soon as I do this little thumbprint at the what is it, the DPS?
Sure. Yeah.
And boom.
That irony hit deep, and fans noticed. What made it all powerful was how Big X carried himself through it. Instead of spiraling or hiding, he kept it real and stayed focused on two things: his family and his music. When reporters asked if he planned to reschedule the canceled Wingstop event, Big X didn't hesitate. He said, yes. That one word said it all. It showed he wasn't about to let legal trouble block him from connecting with the people who made him who he is. That's where you really see the growth. The transformation from the guy who once admitted to robbing dealers just to feed his baby boy, to the man proudly celebrating his daughter's first birthday, right after walking out of jail. That's not just redemption, that's evolution. The February Instagram video wasn't just a cute family post. It was proof that Big X is standing on his word, showing up for his kids, no matter what life throws at him. That promise to his son, Amar, that he'd never not see him a day in his life. That's the fire that keeps him moving. And the guilt, it's still heavy. During that tearful New York Times interview, Big X opened up about how tough it is to balance being a superstar with being a dad, especially to a child with autism who needs structure and consistency. He said that every time he hits the road, part of him feels like he's letting his son down. That raw honesty connected with so many people because it showed that behind the chains and fame, he's just a father trying to do right. Growing up in Pleasant Grove, Big X saw the system up close. So when he got caught up again in 2025, he tried to handle things differently. During both arrests, he was straight up transparent with officers, even told them about the gun himself. That was a man trying to move smart, not reckless. But despite doing things the right way, the system still labeled him a gang member and treated him like a lifelong criminal. That right there shows how hard it is to shake off your past even when you're trying to change. But through all that noise, something incredible happened. The fan reaction turned into something bigger than just Free Big X hashtags. People started sharing their own stories. Parents of autistic kids, families going through similar battles, fans saying his message gave them strength. They were thanking him for speaking up about autism, for using his platform to show that being a rapper doesn't mean you can't be a loving, involved dad. Comments from parents dealing with the same struggles hit the internet heavy. So many of them were saying Big X's honesty about Amar's autism diagnosis gave them real hope. It wasn't just about music anymore. This man was changing lives, one story at a time. His raw openness was breaking down stereotypes and showing the world that even someone with a street background can grow into a father with purpose, compassion, and drive. But to really understand why Big X's journey hits so deep, you gotta look back at where he came from. Because this story, it ain't clean, and it sure ain't pretty. BigXthaPlug didn't come from privilege. He crawled up out the dirt of Dallas's Pleasant Grove, a neighborhood known for being tough on everyone who grew up there. Life taught him early that nothing comes easy, and survival wasn't a choice. It was the only option. Big X, real name Xavier Landam, grew up in chaos. When he was just 4 or 5 years old, he saw something no kid should ever witness. His own mother firing shots at a man trying to rob their home. Imagine being that young and seeing your mom defend the family with her bare hands. That type of moment burns into your memory forever. That's where the street instincts kicked in, long before he even knew what the streets really were. He's always spoken with pride about his mom being both his best friend and a gangster. She was tough but loving, the kind of woman who teach you about loyalty and pain all in the same breath. She's the one who put him onto UGK and the Isley Brothers, while his pops, the strict one, introduced him to Drake and Lil Wayne. So yeah, he had both sides, the old school and the new wave, mixing discipline with rhythm, street lessons with melodies. But music doesn't erase struggle. And for Big X, stability was something he never really had. School wasn't doing it for him. He was skipping classes, fighting, and drifting into the kind of life where teachers stop calling home because they already know how the story's gonna end. When opportunities dry up, the block starts looking like the only plan that makes sense. After high school, desperation kicked in hard. Big X started robbing drug dealers just to get by. He never tried to sugarcoat it. In interviews, he kept it all the way real. He said this wasn't about chasing fame or being reckless. It was about survival. He was a young man with no direction, no safety net, and too many responsibilities for someone barely out of his teens. But robbing dealers? That's like lighting a match in a room full of gas. It was only a matter of time before it all blew up. And it did. The law finally caught up with him, and he got hit with burglary and aggravated robbery charges. Those weren't small-time cases. Those were the kind that change your whole future. Big X found himself behind bars, locked away during the years that should have built his foundation. This wasn't just about prison time. This was about missing out on moments he could never relive. And here's the part that still haunts him. While he was locked up, he missed Amar's first birthday. His baby boy was turning 1, taking those first steps into life, and Big X was sitting behind bars thinking about every decision that brought him there. That pain hit him different. He said in interviews that missing that day broke something inside him, and that from that point on, he swore he'd never let the streets steal another moment with his kids. But here's what most people don't know. Before music, before the arrests, Big X had another dream. He was actually attending Crown College in Minnesota, chasing a football career. That was his ticket out. For a while, it looked like he was gonna make it, until one bad decision ended it all. He got expelled for smoking marijuana, and just like that, the dream was gone. The field turned cold, and the streets started calling again. Desperation hit Big X hard, the kind that keeps you up at night wondering how you're gonna make it to tomorrow. He's always been brutally honest about that time in his life, never sugarcoating the truth. He said straight up that after his son was born, survival became his only mission. He wasn't trying to justify his actions. He was explaining the cold reality of having a baby to feed, no money coming in and no doors opening. When you're boxed in like that, the streets start to look like the only way to breathe. Things got darker from there. In a 2023 Spin magazine interview, Big X admitted that he turned to robbing felons just to keep his son alive. That's how desperate it got. He wasn't proud of it, but he faced it head on. He said, "I've done a lot of stuff to people in my past. I pray that God forgives me now, but I did what I had to do to survive." That line hit people deep, because it wasn't glorifying the street life. It was exposing the pain behind it. That's real remorse mixed with survival instinct. Raw truth that most artists are too scared to admit out loud. But even after turning his life around, that past still haunted him. Big X said himself, "Everybody knows who and where I am. At any moment, anybody can pull up and do whatever. The streets don't forget." Those words showed the fear that comes with fame when your history is tied to the block. He knows that being visible means being vulnerable, especially when there are people who might still hold grudges. Success didn't erase his past. It just made him easier to find. And just when it seemed like things might settle, 2022 hit him with another blow. Big X got arrested again in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for illegal possession of weapons and marijuana. This time, he ended up in solitary confinement, and that silence became his wake-up call. Locked away with nothing but his thoughts, Big X started writing, pouring out every ounce of pain, regret, and determination he had left. That's where the seeds of his breakout album, Amar, were planted. He's talked about how those long nights in the cell turned into therapy sessions with pen and paper. Every verse he wrote was a confession, turning darkness into something powerful. When he finally got out, those songs became the backbone of Amar, the album that debuted at number 4 on Billboard's Heat Seekers chart. It wasn't just music, it was redemption in real time. But behind all that street grit and lyrical fire was a deeper truth. Big X grew up without consistent fatherly guidance. He said it himself. Not having a strong male figure messed up his sense of direction early on. He lost friends to gang life, watched family members disappear into the prison system, and saw the cycle repeat again and again. It's hard to break free from a pattern when that pattern is all you've ever known. That same cycle followed him into adulthood, especially with law enforcement. The gang affiliation flag that keeps showing up in his police records is something he doesn't talk about much, but it keeps shadowing him. According to Arlington PD reports, Big X is listed as a documented gang member, which means every time he gets pulled over, the situation escalates automatically. Even when he's legally carrying, that flag flips the script, turning what should be a routine stop into another charge. It's a constant reminder that no matter how much he grows, the system still sees who he was, not who he's becoming. But here's what's wild. The same streets that almost destroyed him also shaped his sound. His southern trap energy, his storytelling, that gritty voice, all of it comes straight from real-life pain. Tracks like Texas and Maham hit hard because they're not just songs, they're scars with rhythm. You can hear the struggle in every line, the hunger, the fear, and the hope of a man who lived through it all. And maybe that's why his growth hits fans so deep. Because Big X isn't pretending, he's evolving. His criminal background explains why he's so locked in on being a father now. He's using every mistake as a lesson, showing his kids there's another way, a better way. He's building generational change right in front of our eyes. Here's where you really see Big X's growth shine through. He doesn't glorify the dirt he came from, not one bit. When he talks about his past, there's no bragging, no fake flexing, just truth and regret. He owns every decision he made, knowing full well those same choices could have taken his freedom or his life. That's the difference between being real and being reckless. Big X uses those painful memories not as trophies, but as fuel. Fuel for his music, his fatherhood, and his second chance at life. He said it himself, he ain't going back to the streets. The same life that once almost destroyed him now powers his redemption story. And that transformation didn't come easy. It came through pain, isolation, and fatherhood waking him up to what really matters. Every time he faces a new minor legal issue, it's not just stress. It's a reminder of how far he's come from those wild days of robbing dealers just to eat. That's growth in real time. The deeper you look into Big X's story, the more you realize his music hits differently because it's real life poured into every lyric. Growing up in Pleasant Grove, it wasn't just about being broke. It was about surviving a neighborhood where violence was a way of life. You had to make impossible choices, play the game or get swallowed by it. Big X lived that pressure every single day, trying to figure out how to stay alive without losing himself in the process. And that early trauma, it shaped everything. Imagine being barely 5 years old, watching your mom shoot at a man breaking into your home. That moment burned itself into his memory forever. That kind of fear, that kind of chaos, becomes part of you. Big X said that was when he learned the streets don't give mercy, only lessons. In one of his rawest interviews with Spin magazine, Big X broke down how calculated his crimes once were. He said he purposely targeted drug dealers instead of random victims, thinking they wouldn't call the cops since they were already breaking the law. It was cold logic, survival math. But that came with danger, because when you rob hustlers, you're playing a deadly game. Those same people got their own networks, their own guns, and their own sense of revenge. One wrong move could have ended his life before the music even began. That stretch between his football dream dying and his music taking off, that was the darkest chapter of his life. After getting kicked out of Crown College in Minnesota for smoking weed, Big X came back to Dallas broke, humiliated, and with a baby on the way. The dream was gone, the bills were real, and the streets were calling louder than ever. That's when desperation started driving every move. No job, no degree, no safety net, just survival instincts and a growing sense of guilt that he was slipping deeper into the same cycle he promised to escape. Then came the 2022 arrest, the one that changed everything. He got thrown in solitary confinement, alone for weeks with nothing but his thoughts. That's where the real transformation started. Locked away during holidays like Thanksgiving, missing baby Amar's early milestones, Big X finally had to face the truth. He wasn't protecting his family, he was losing them. The silence broke him down, but it also rebuilt him. That isolation turned into inspiration. He started writing nonstop, turning his regrets into rhymes, his pain into poetry. Those songs written in the dark became his lifeline, the bridge between who he was and who he wanted to become. Out of that cell came the blueprint for his debut project, Amar, named after his son, a body of work born out of heartbreak and healing. That album became the spark that lit up his career, marking the moment Big X stepped from the shadows of Dallas streets into the spotlight of the music world. His rise wasn't about luck, it was about redemption, about fighting through failure and coming out fearless. From that point on, every lyric carried truth, every bar carried weight, and every beat carried a story that came straight from the trenches. By 2019, after his release, Big X was fully locked in on music. But it wasn't until the early 2020s that the world finally started paying attention. The streets of Dallas already knew he had something special, but soon, the entire rap scene couldn't ignore it either. His voice, deep, raw, and full of soul, cut through the noise like nothing else. The same man who once thought his future was gone forever was now on his way to becoming one of the biggest names in the game. The real breakthrough moment, the one that flipped Big X's life upside down, came when he dropped Texas. And when I say this song blew up, I mean it exploded. Every platform, every playlist, every car window in the South was blasting that track. It wasn't just a song, it was a statement. The track racked up over 200 million streams and climbed all the way to number 65 on the Billboard Hot 100, officially putting BigXthaPlug on the national radar as a force in the Southern trap scene. TikTok went absolutely crazy over it. Clips of people vibing to Texas filled every corner of the app. Folks were making dance challenges, duets, and remixes left and right. That viral energy gave Big X's storytelling a worldwide audience. His Dallas accent, that deep growl in his delivery, the rawness, it connected with people tired of fake industry talk. They felt his authenticity because every bar came from real-life scars, but Texas was just the spark. The fire had already been building. Back in 2020, he had dropped his debut mixtape, Back from the Dead, a gritty and fearless project that showed the world he wasn't just another street rapper. Songs like Red Bottoms and Moolah hit hard with street narratives laced over catchy hooks that stuck in your head. The whole tape was Big X reclaiming his story, turning his darkest moments in solitary confinement into something powerful, something that inspired people who knew what pain felt like. Then came the real game changer, 2023's debut album, Amar, named after his autistic son. This wasn't just music. This was a love letter from a father trying to show his child that pain can become purpose. Every track hit deep, balancing Southern trap production with heart-wrenching honesty. Amar wasn't an album about street fame. It was about survival, family, and redemption. And the world noticed. It debuted at number 4 on Billboard's Heat Seekers albums chart, proving Big X had officially evolved from a street storyteller to a true artist with commercial firepower. And once Amar dropped, the floodgates opened. Big X started getting calls from heavy hitters across the game. Collaborations with Offset, NLE Choppa, and more followed. Suddenly, his Dallas sound was echoing far beyond Texas. These collabs weren't just features. They were cosigns, a sign that the industry's elite saw him as the real deal. Every verse he dropped held weight. Every hook showed growth. Big X wasn't chasing clout. He was building a legacy. Then came October 2024, and everything leveled up again when he released Take Care. That project hit like a storm. It debuted at number 8 on the Billboard 200, pulling in 25,000 album equivalent units in its first week. Numbers that officially put Big X in the same conversation as established rap stars. Songs like which also peaked at number 65 on the Hot 100, and Therapy Session became instant fan favorites. These records showed depth, not just bangers, but emotion, reflection, and soul. Fans were connecting with the pain, the growth, the hunger, all wrapped inside Southern trap beats that knocked. When it came to touring, Big X proved he could command a crowd just like the legends. His Take Care tour showed his pull in real time. Packed venues, screaming fans, and energy that didn't stop till the lights went out. One of the biggest nights was in Seattle, where he sold out NUO, performing hits like 2 AM and Therapy Session with full passion. The crowd was electric. You could feel the love bouncing off the walls. Opening acts, Road Dollar, Ama, and Young Hood set the tone. But once Big X stepped out, the whole place went up in flames. But that Seattle night, December 8th, 2024, didn't just make headlines for the music. Mid-performance, things got heated when a fan started heckling him from the front row, yelling wild stuff and throwing water toward the stage. Big X wasn't having it. Without hesitation, he jumped off the stage with his crew to confront the heckler face to face. Cameras caught the chaos, fists flying, the fan ending up bloodied. It was mayhem. Security rushed in fast, and though the situation turned physical, no arrests were made. The clip went viral instantly. Some fans said Big X was just protecting his respect, while others argued he needed to move smarter now that he's a star. Either way, it reminded everyone that beneath the fame and success, Big X was still that same kid from Pleasant Grove, real, raw, and unfiltered. That Seattle night wasn't just drama. It was proof that no matter how far he's come, Big X stays true to who he is. He's not fake, not polished, just real energy, real heart, and a past that still burns behind every move he makes. After that wild Seattle incident, Big X did something that showed his real growth. He got right back on stage and finished the show like a pro. No tantrums, no ego, just pure professionalism. That moment told the world that Big X wasn't just a street artist anymore. He was a businessman, a performer, and a professional who could handle chaos and still deliver. And the recognition came quick. In 2025, XXL magazine named Big X their best new artist, a major stamp of approval from one of hip-hop's most respected platforms. That title wasn't just about sales or numbers. It was about influence, impact, and raw artistry that couldn't be ignored. Then came the power moves. Big X signed with United Masters, with Virgin Music handling distribution, a setup that gave him something most artists never get: creative control. That independence let him keep his sound 100% authentic. No label politics, no forced image, no watered-down message. He was calling every shot, shaping his career like a boss. That control became even more valuable as his fan base exploded, stretching from loyal Dallas fans to national and even global audiences. The festival circuit turned into another battlefield where Big X proved his dominance. His Bonnaroo 2024 performance introduced him to a whole new crowd, fans who didn't even usually listen to hip-hop but fell in love with his energy and storytelling. He crossed into new lanes without losing the ones that built him. And with Dusky's Coda Fest 2025 on the schedule, it was clear the demand for Big X wasn't slowing down anytime soon. But his boldest move? That came in August 2025, when he dropped his country rap crossover album, I Hope You're Happy. And this wasn't some gimmick. Big X went all in, working with heavy hitters like Jelly Roll, Luke Combs, Shazi, Darius Rucker, Thomas Rhett, and Ella Langley. That lineup alone turned heads, but the music sealed the deal. It wasn't forced, it was fresh, real, and surprisingly natural. The New York Times praised the project, saying Big X blended urban and country influences in a way that feels raw, heartfelt, and effortless. Big X himself called it My Heart and My Story, a statement that hit deep for anyone following his journey. Songs like Hear Voices, featuring Lil Wayne and Daba, showed that Big X could go bar for bar with rap legends while still experimenting with new sounds. He wasn't chasing trends, he was creating them. Even though the album dropped on August 22, 2025, right in the middle of his arrest drama, his team didn't flinch. They handled business, kept the rollout tight, and let the music do the talking. That's real dedication. By that time, Big X had over 14 million monthly Spotify listeners, a number that placed him in elite company among modern rappers. His unique blend of country soul and southern trap gave him fans from both sides, the hip-hop heads and the country crowd. And then there's the part of Big X's story that makes fans respect him even more. His advocacy for autism awareness, inspired by his son, Amar. His continued work with the Autism Society of America showed the world that fame hadn't made him forget what matters most. He wasn't just a rapper. He was a father, a voice, and a role model for parents raising kids with special needs. What's wild is how Big X kept climbing despite constant setbacks. Those arrests in February and August 2025 could have easily derailed his entire run. But instead of folding, he stayed on grind mode, releasing music, performing, and building his brand like nothing could stop him. His upcoming projects even teased collabs with Post Malone and Morgan Wallen, proving that I Hope You're Happy wasn't just a one-time crossover. It was the start of something much bigger. The transformation from robbing dealers in Dallas to working with country superstars represents one of the most jaw-dropping redemption arcs in recent hip-hop history. Think about it. This is a man who went from solitary confinement, writing lyrics in the dark, to headlining sold-out shows and charting alongside the biggest names in the industry. From missing his son's first birthday behind bars to celebrating his daughter's first birthday right after getting out, that's what you call a full circle story. Big X turned pain into purpose and built his version of the American dream, played out through southern trap beats and country guitar licks that nobody saw coming. But behind the music, the business side of Big X's rise is just as powerful. His United Masters deal wasn't about clout, it was about ownership. Big X made sure he kept his masters, building long-term wealth instead of chasing short-term fame. While other artists sign away their catalogs for quick advances, Big X is setting up generational security, making money off his music forever. That's a boss move right there. That same independence gave him the freedom to pivot into country music without label interference. He didn't need permission to experiment. He just did it. That's confidence. That's vision. That's knowing exactly who you are. And the numbers back it up. Over 14 million monthly listeners on Spotify, Texas, racking up over 200 million streams, and consistent chart placements prove that real stories still sell. Big X didn't buy followers or fake hype. His fan base grew organically. He connected with people by keeping it real, talking directly to fans on live streams, showing love, and staying present. His engagement wasn't about algorithms, it was about authenticity. Here's what's crazy. That August 2025 arrest that was supposed to hurt him actually made him bigger. The timing turned into publicity gold. Media outlets from TMZ to the New York Times ran with the story, boosting his visibility worldwide. Instead of letting it drag him down, Big X flipped it into a marketing moment. Proof that he knows how to turn setbacks into headlines. And that's what separates Big X from the rest. He's not just talented, he's strategic. His country crossover wasn't just a creative move, it was a power play. Collaborating with artists like Luke Combs and Jelly Roll opened doors to radio stations, country festivals, and audiences that rarely ever touch hip-hop. That's brand expansion on another level. Don't forget subscribe and comments. Thanks.